Guys, we're here at Cycle Specialist. He's the quickest and fastest motorcycle drag racer. You're never going to believe this. We've got 5 top fuel motorcycles here. How are they made? We're going to get a quick little tour. Stay with us. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, the legend is here. How are you doing, sir?
I'm cycle dragging. That's what I'm doing. Cycle dragging forever and ever and ever.
You are the man. Sweep the leg, right?
Sweep the leg, no mercy, and cycle dragging.
All right, guys, welcome to Cycle Specialist, Newport News, Virginia. Larry, I want to thank you once again. I know you're a busy man, especially now, for giving us a little bit of inside access. For those of you who do not know, this man has been motorcycle drag racing for 43 years, a 20-time champion, first in the 5s, and oh yeah, 550, 265 miles an hour. And Larry, I got to tell you about that 250. I got to ask you, when you ran that 550, the orders went through the roof. Jimmy Brantley had already put one in, and
well, actually, the orders came in when we went to 561.
561.
So, and it takes a while. I mean, we're a small company here. You know, me and Steve, and then we have, you know, Ben and Norman and Steve, another Steve that actually does our chassis for us. So it's. You know, we're a little slower than a company that would be doing it all in-house, and it takes us a little bit of time because some of these guys still have real jobs, you know. So it's a lot of fun to get it done and get more people out here. I love the sport, and to be able to build them and keep Elmer Tritt's legacy alive is what I want to try to do.
All right, Larry, we got 5 in the shop. Why don't we start with what I'd like to refer to as an infant? This is the very beginning.
Well, actually, the beginning was when it was just all straight tubing. So this here is Athol Williams is here over in New Zealand, and it's just a bare chassis that we're actually just getting ready to get started on everything. We've got all the tabs on it. There's been some stuff done here and there. It's still got a long ways to go. We've got all the motor plates done. Of course, you know, that's all in another room right now. But all that stuff's done, but there's a lot more work to be completed on this thing. Many, many hours still left in it.
Now, you correct me if I'm wrong, but you have so many specialists at work. You have a man who does the chassis, and then you also have an expert welder who comes in and helps you tab it out.
That's absolutely right. You know, I'm a pretty decent welder myself, but unfortunately, I'm not a certified welder like Norman is, and not only that, Norman can out-weld me any day of the week. So his welds are real good. So that's why we choose to use him. He's a certified welder. That makes sure that we know that everything is safe on these bikes.
Norman and Benji, what is the QC process like for those guys to just make sure everything is perfectly straight with one of these chassis?
Well, I mean, it's all in a frame jig that between me and Steve. Me and Steve actually built the thing many years ago, and then Ben took it, and we've had it all surface ground, and everything's the best you could possibly do. It's just flat. It's within 2 thousandths from end to end being perfectly flat. And
we talk about everything you've learned, all that valuable experience in 43 years. How much of this chassis is just your own design from trial and error?
Well, it's more Steve's design. It's still basically is a puppet design. We've changed a few things here and there, but Puppet was so far ahead of his time.
He sure was. And for those who do not know, James Puppet DiTullio from New York, correct? Built a lot of Elmer Tritt chassis, built many of your chassis. Really a legendary builder who's no longer with us.
Right, and a young guy that used to work for him. Of course, he ain't as young as he used to be, but Joe Hoffman, he lives up in Charlotte, North Carolina, which, you know, owns Fiberworks in Mooresville, was actually involved in all of the chassis stuff and the welding. Another extremely good welder he was. And so we just kind of took the design that Puppet did and took it what we think was the next step that Puppet would have done. And that's what we've done with these chassis. I'm very, very happy with it.
Whoa, 102, Stevie. 102.
That's better. That's better.
That sounded really strong.
Got a little loose out there.
Well, Larry, with that type of acceleration, with that type of speed, you know you need some incredibly solid and dependable wheels. Let's take a look at what you're running.
And what we have here is we exclusively run Hawaii racing wheels, made by Johnny Vickers and Steve Vickers in North Carolina there. And the wheels, barring none, are the best wheels on the market today. We put all of our trust into Hawaii, and we work with Johnny and Steve on the wheel and on the design of the wheels. And for our particular type motorcycles, and we strongly recommend using the Hawaii racing wheels. We love them, and I think everybody else would love them also.
What size wheel is this, Larry?
These are 15-inch rims, and they're actually 13 inches wide. We run a 14-inch tire, and I run a 1-inch narrow. Now, Johnny can make these things 14 inches wide if that's what you like. I run a 1-inch smaller rim than I do tire, just because we want to get the growth of the tire. And but you can run, Johnny can make it any size you want it. You know, you want one 15 inches wide, you want one 16 inches wide. He can make it any combination you want. You send them a drawing, they'll be glad to make it for you.
Have you ever experimented with wheel size?
You know, I haven't. You know, we kind of stick. We experiment with a lot of stuff, but we try to always keep the known in our wheels.
And tires have been a hot topic in motorcycle drag racing. It sure takes a big contact patch to go 550, 265 miles an hour. Larry, what are we looking at here?
Well, this is a Mickey Thompson tire. We've been involved with Mickey Thompson now for probably the past 20 years. And we helped them with this tire many years ago to design it. And it's an extremely good tire. And thank God for Mickey Thompson for making us a good tire. So, I mean, it takes a good combination. You got to have a good tire, good rim to go fast.
And it's truly amazing how far the technology has come with your front wheel BST. It is a huge name in the motorcycle industry, and we know that Brock's Performance is as well. Brock Davidson, a guy that knows something about going fast. That's where you get your front wheels, isn't it?
Absolutely. Brock's Performance, I've been with them now for several years too. And not only have I been with them, Brock's also a very good friend of mine. But he fixed me up with BST, and this is the new latest, greatest Hayabusa wheel that BST is making right now, 7-spoke, where we used to have a 5-spoke, you know, which just makes it a little bit stronger. And, you know, they reinforce the wheels that we run because my bike is, you know, 1,200 pounds. So, you know, it's got a little bit more reinforcement in it, but they still make all your street wheels. And as you can see, all your bagger bikes, all these fast baggers are running these wheels. You want to go fast, rotating mass is, you know, for every pound you can save in rotating mass, it's like taking 3 pounds off your motorcycle.
It's so amazing how far they have come, and it's appropriate that there's a picture of the great Elmer Trett right there. What do you think Elmer would think of this front wheel and how far they have come?
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, he'd be all about it, I can tell you that, just like I have been. You know, these products that they make are absolutely, the workmanship on them, bar none, is some of the best you can ever see. And carbon fiber work, you know, I don't think there's anybody any better than what BST does. I've not seen it if they are.
And guys, you can get this for your Hayabusa, your sport bike, and many other applications at Brock's Performance. All right, that brings us to bike number 2. We are stacked. I absolutely love this shop. Thank you so much for showing us again. Bike number 2 could be known as Yellow Bullet number 2. And ladies and gentlemen, there is the fearless Dave Vantine. Dave, welcome back. Dave Vantine's bike in progress. Let's see where we are as of now. So Larry, you guys have been working extremely hard on this motorcycle. This is for your teammate, Dave Vantine. He's gonna have the latest and the greatest really soon. Where are we at on this motorcycle?
Well, we're still a long ways off, but we're getting closer and closer. You know, it's, you know, we've got the body all mounted up now. We still got to mount a couple of small pieces, but most all the body stuff is mounted up now. You know, got the fuel tank and all made. We've got the front wheel off of it right now, which is another BST. By the way, I use strictly BSTs on all of my bikes that I build. But we still got a long ways to go. We got the transmission stuff all mounted. We got all these little parts over here on the table here that we've got to still mount up. That all made up, all hard coated. Ready to go. All this stuff here has got to go to the hard coaters to get coated. We're just trying to get enough stuff to take over there because you pay a VAT charge, and so you want to get enough stuff so you get the biggest bang for your buck as you possibly can. So that's that. And we just finished. Steve just finished. Got the clutch can just about all made. It's pretty well roughed out. A lot of work. This thing is. This thing starts out. I believe it starts out as 1 inch thick. And then he makes a cap and all. We try to seal all of our clutch stuff in, and put the dust out the back with a hose. So, but I think we're going along pretty good on it.
Guys, and it is so amazing what they do at this shop. Right now, they are making these custom one-off parts, and guess what? They don't use a CNC machine. Steve McBride is so talented, an old school tool and die maker. He's back there making these parts by hand. I want to show you a clutch can from start to finish.
Piles and piles of chips.
Amazing.
What did I tell you?
Evan?
No, I've got 45,000 to take off of it.
45.
Once that lip was gone.
I think this will really give you an appreciation of how long it takes to make one of these custom one-off motorcycles. Remember, no catalog. You can just pick up and order, no .com. You can say, hey, I need Top Fuel motorcycle parts. They make them by hand.
They're sitting there stacked. Yeah. That was a smaller piece right there.
This is what a clutch can looks like when it first starts out. Very raw, very primitive. Let's go check it out in progress. And here is a clutch can in progress. Here's the final finished product after it's been to the hard coat. That is a clutch can.
Have a trap door put in it.
They say about this plan, they think it's too much. They say, quote,
This is the cover. We'll have a seal put in it.
much of the rest will far exceed the
Wow.
I think that my recovery time is
How much work is that?
I can work each muscle
Just to make these pieces, a lot.
for most people.
How many hours?
Maybe twice a week.
I don't know, probably 5 hours, 6 hours, 5 hours probably. Because you got to take a piece of tubing as big as this to make this. Three. You can probably get 5 of these pieces out of one.
But you still got to cut that big piece out there to this size, right?
This has to get machined out here for this to replace it.
You can't always stop for a finger stick. With the freestyle
It's this.
How in the world do you make these little hinges?
Carefully.
How long does it take to make one of those?
Way too long.
I bet. Goodness.
But they're machined at the same radius as. Yep. So they meet here, and then they hold, and then one goes on this, and they sit this way, and you pull the quick pin out, and this drops out of the way. Put it back in there, and
posted it on social media. So
You're a talented man. Very amazing.
also several of the
Stevie, your brother's one bad dude out there, huh?
Whoa! That was a little hairy, but he didn't back out too much. He did feather it.
And here's one that race fans will recognize, maybe not because the body works off, but Larry, this is the motorcycle affectionately known as Star, the record smasher. This is the one that went 550, 265. Right now, it's down for maintenance, for winter maintenance. But I mean, it is a fully functional race machine ready to go once you put it back together. What's that process like, bringing the bike back and tearing it down, getting it ready?
Well, just go through everything. You know, we didn't run but one race last year, so it's not a ton of stuff that we have to do to this because it was already in, you know, top-notch shape before we went down to Valdosta in November. So we just basically got to go through it, clean it up, check all the wells, make sure everything's good, and basically just put it back together. It's we're going to put a new front end on it this, you know, I don't know, either this month or the first of next month. We're going to go to the Hayabusa front end. We're going to go with a front end like I got on Dave's bike here. We're gonna put a brand new front end, new wheel, new 7-spoke BST wheel on it. We're gonna put all new brakes on it, just like what I got on Jimmy's bike over there. All the Behringer stuff that we actually buy through DME, using some of that Pro Street stuff that if they go fast with it, I ain't scared to use it. So we try to send a little love Demi's way because they're good boys, him and Andy, and they really helped me out with all the Behringer stuff, which was really great. And so I strictly try to use all Behringer brakes and stuff on all of my bikes now.
Helps to have good friends and good contacts, that's for sure. One question I have for you is, obviously, you guys are so busy with the customers' bikes. Is it tough to keep after your own stuff?
You know, it is, and especially, you know, used to, you know, we would be here till 12, 1 o'clock at night. Unfortunately, we don't work that late no more. We usually try to get down here between 8:30 and 9, except in race season. And, you know, during racing season, you're going to be here till 11 or 12 some nights, you know, trying to get everything ready, you know, loading up and finishing up. And just how long as you didn't break anything real bad, you're going to be okay.
Wow, Steve, 265! 265!
Ain't too shabby.
Does that
Do better than that, but that's good enough.
Wow! All right, guys, that brings us to a freshly completed masterpiece. The returning Jimmy the Hulk Brantley. For those of you who follow us closely, you know he was the second man in the fives, made a big, big impact about 15 years ago, then stepped away from the sport. Well, Jimmy is back, and Larry and Steve have absolutely crafted a masterpiece. Here it is, an absolute marvelous, you know, I don't even know whether or not to call it a race bike because it looks more like a show bike, but a mean, powerful show bike. I think one time you said these things could rip a phone book apart. That's how rough they sound. This thing sounds like it's just an unbridled animal, and it looks amazing. Tell me about this work of art.
Well, it's been a lot of work. I can tell you that. We're very, very proud of it. It came out really good. I mean, it took a long time to do it, but it's this thing is barring none, it's probably one of the best built motorcycles in the country, or in the world, I should say. It's everything on it's top of the line. Now we just got to get out and run it. And it's hard for Jimmy right now. I mean, he has a big business to take care of, so we don't know exactly when we're going to get exactly when we're going to test it. We'd like to have been testing it, but unfortunately, business comes before pleasure in this case. So we'll just see when see what happens when we go out and test it. We're looking forward to it. I know that. I'm thinking about shortening up the risers and maybe take it to Valdosta and run it myself.
Oh, that would be cool to see. And recently we fired this motorcycle up. Let's take you to that.
As much as I can.
Congratulations, Steve and Larry. It is alive. The Hulk sounds great, man.
It's I tell you right now, it's right on the money. I tell you, it's sounds good as Star does. So
it's ready to go run a 5, I think.
I think it is too. It sounds really good.
Woo!
So we're really excited about it.
Congratulations, Stevie.
Hold on, Jimmy.
Welcome back, Jimmy Brantley. We can't wait to see you back at the racetrack. Larry, I know that first startup meant a lot to you guys. What was your impression after you heard it come to life?
Well, you know, that always makes you feel good. The motorcycle was flawless. I mean, what can I say? It cranked up and it was flawless, and no leaks, no nothing. So it was all good. I mean, I can't complain. It's very, very happy with it, and I know Jimmy will be very happy with it. And we're gonna have a very competitive bike. Probably done built a bike that outrun me. So. We'll see.
You better be careful. That's what happened last time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy got you a couple times.
Well, yeah, that happens. And, of course, Dave ain't no shab over there either.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's going to be some good racing. We got so many people out there right now that's good. Sam Wheels, Mitch Brown, Chris Hand, all the boys. I'm looking forward to 2021.
Yeah, more coming and hopefully a big year. We planned for a big year in 2020. Unfortunately, COVID had other plans, but this year looking to work with the NHRA, looking to work with Bill Bader's Night Under Fire, of course, your usual Man Cup stuff. A lot to look forward to in this category.
I'm looking forward to that for sure. We got some good, some big announcements. Once we finalize the deals, we got some big announcements to make, with the NHRA. So we'll see exactly what the dates and what races that we'll be doing for them. We're looking forward to that. But I think August the 7th is going to be Bill Bader's Night of Fire.
Yes, cannot wait, guys. Cannot wait. And I know so many of you watch on YouTube, you watch on Facebook. Trust me, there is nothing like the sound, the smell, the sensation of one of these motorcycles live. So stay tuned to our pages, CycleDrag.com on Facebook, CycleDrag YouTube will let you know where they're going to be. But right now, you can definitely mark August 7th, Norwalk, Ohio, on your calendar. We're going to get these guys in front of some stands, in front of some fans in the stands. It should be cool.
I can't wait. Look forward to it.
All right, one more question I have for you that I'm sure someone is going to ask. It is absolutely staggering what you and your brother do here alone. Somebody's probably going to ask, where's the crew of guys? Where's the CNC machines? You guys do it in a very old school way, and you get a very high quality product. Have you ever thought about changing your way, or is this the only way that you know how to do it?
Well, we would love to have a CNC machine. And we've thought about it, but we know there's not enough of these bikes to justify spending the money. And, we have some stuff done CNC. Jimmy does some stuff for CNC. He made some new blower blower mounts for CNC. He's made a few little things. So he's got a couple CNC machines in his shop. So he's done a few things for us. Richard Hartman actually makes our clutches for us, so does all the CNC work on the hats and the flywheels and the pressure plates and all that stuff. So we do some CNC, have some stuff done. We like to have one in-house. I just don't know if I'm willing to, at 63 years old, if I'm willing to step up and spend that kind of money on a CNC to do that. We wouldn't mind maybe having a little 3-axis to do some of the small parts that take so much time, but it's pretty cool because Steve's trade is a dying trade. Tool and die makers and what I call a real machinist on a hand machine, that's a dying trade, and Steve's still he's one of the best I've ever seen. And there's been a lot of other people that's been around that says he's one of the best they've ever seen. So there's not many of the Steves left in the world anymore that can take a part and literally put it on a hand machine and make it look like it was on a CNC machine. So their one-off takes a lot of time, but everything on these bikes are one-off. Each person's one-off. This ain't just a bike that you could, unfortunately, you can't call up DME and get, or APE or Kibble White. You can't call up and order any of these brackets. I need a kill switch bracket. I need a parachute bracket. You can't get that. They don't have it. Okay, so you have to, and everybody's hands are different sizes. We try to make these bikes safe, so we always try to put all the controls where the people can get to them with their hands. Jimmy's hands are a lot smaller than my hands, so his controls have to be in a different spot. So that's what we try to do, and we try to personalize the bikes because it's just the way Steve and I are, and we love what we do, and maybe one day you never know. I mean, but at 63, I don't know if I want to go out and spend $100 grand when I can call Mitch Brown, say, hey Mitch, or I can call Jimmy, say, hey Mitch, I need Mitch, Jimmy, Richard Hartman. I can say, hey, I need to get these parts made here, send them a drawing, send them a part to copy, and a week later I got the parts. So I'm not going to complain about what the work them guys do, because they do great work.
Absolutely. And what I'd like to say for people that don't know, to give them an idea, no disrespect to all the Top Fuel motorcycles out there, because they are amazing, but I can attest to the fact that I have never seen this level of quality out of anyone. I mean, hey, I think you'll be the first to admit, you guys aren't the world's fastest shop when it comes to building them, right? But the quality is off the charts.
Well, yeah, because it's just Steve and I. I mean, we got a big shop with 2 people, and when you're building a bike from the ground up. I mean, from getting the tubing being straight, and you're putting somebody's life on here. So there's a lot of responsibilities. So everybody's got to have the same passion and the same love that we have for the sport to be able to build one of these things and build them safe.
How amazing is that, guys? So 1, 2, 3, 4. We did say 5, didn't we? We're not done just yet. There's a legendary motorcycle that was known as Blue. Okay, this machine, Larry will know better than me. I think born 92.
It was born in 94.
Born in 94. Became the first motorcycle in the 5s. Unfortunately, Larry, I believe you're really jogging my memory now, 2015, Adco, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Blue experienced a situation, we all experienced a situation that we never thought we would. You exploded, right? On and off the throttle.
Right, we basically hydraulicked an engine, and it blowed up. I mean, we've never seen one blow up like this. It literally blowed the top end off, knocked the top frame rail out of the chassis, and hit me in the chest, and of course I got burnt. And we've came back, and the bike was such a nice piece. We come back and we actually front half the thing.
Here we go, guys. We're gonna see it. I'm gonna show them
all this stuff. All this stuff is new. We basically had to cut it. We actually cut it off from here all the way back to here, and we basically replaced the whole front half of the motorcycle.
All right, I want to let people see. I just know a lot of people haven't seen this in a while, and I want to let everybody know that Blue still lives on. I remember being there top end. I felt so bad for you. First, we were worried about your safety, But I remember your brother, who's put his heart and soul into this bike, he said, you'll never see this motorcycle go on a racetrack again. That's how upset he was at the time. But now, through some hard work by you guys, let's see where we're at with Blue. Ladies and gentlemen, Blue lives on. Larry, it's got to be a special feeling and give you a lot of nostalgia and a lot of memories to see this motorcycle back.
Oh, it's. I mean, we've got to work on it a little bit. Not like we would like to have it finished by now, but it's pretty much a base of just bolting everything back together. We've got to make a fuel tank because of course the fuel tank blowed up also in the accident. Other than that, it's basically just bolt parts back on. You know, it's pretty much ready to go. All the front end, we got all the parts to do it with. It's just that we got to make a fuel tank still. But other than that, we have everything, all new computer. You know, all new. Every part on this thing will be a fresh motorcycle, and we are going to take it down the track again.
Oh, I cannot wait.
Blue might run a little quicker. Who knows?
Isn't it crazy? So that's the thing. We think of this as an outdated bike. It's still the 5th quickest in the world. It was low 70s, right?
Oh yeah, this bike
74?
574 it run. So it's right there. I can't remember. It's probably around the 4th or 5th quickest motorcycle, and it'll. I'm looking forward to running it again. You know, we're probably going to update the fairing, put the new fairing on it with the wings on it to kind of keep the air off your hands because of the mile an hour that we're running today. Because this thing will go out there and do the same thing. And always the coolest part about Blue was it always 60-footed excellent. I mean, this thing's had some, you know, 0.980 60s on a regular basis, no fluke runs, you know, something that was a regular deal. It wasn't nothing that would, you know, say, hey, run a 980 and then, you know, 5 years later you run a 990. And this thing would run 980s on a pretty regular basis and 990s on a real regular basis. So that's why it always runs so quick. It never run no mile an hour. This bike, you know, I think about the best we've ever run with this bike is somewhere around 230. Oh, it could be 240 on it. Matter of fact, 243, I believe, is the best number with this bike. When we went 599, we went 243, and it's a possibility we went 240. I think we went 245 with it at Summit Motorsports Park. So at Bill Bader's place. So it did go 245 there. So that's the best it's ever been. So with the new fuel systems we have today, this thing will probably it'll run a little bit. So if we can keep the short numbers where it used to be, keep the weight where it is, because this bike is literally 100 pounds lighter than my new bike.
Crazy. Well, that's what you say is Star has been a mile an hour top end monster. But you never really got Star to 60 foot like Blue did, right?
Never, no. The best we've ever had with that bike is a 10160. And, you know, basically this thing runs 101, 102s. That's about the best we've had with it. If we could get this thing to run, you know, a 990, 60, I mean, this thing would probably run a 40, you know, so, and hell, it might run a 40 and run a 1 flat. I don't know, you know, it's hard to say, but, it sure would be nice to be able to get this thing back together and take Blue out and run it one more time before we put it in the, I guess in my private museum that I haven't got yet. So put it up here, the rest of the stuff that I don't need to have up front.
Can't wait to see it back.
Yeah! Yeah!
What the hell, dude? You told me it went 3 seconds.
I told you to run.
Give this guy. What I did.
Live on Cycle Drag right here, right now.
Well, this has been awesome. Larry, thanks again so much. I appreciate the time. Guys, is he awesome or what? Really appreciate it. Make sure you check out all the videos of him in action. Here are some for you to click on. And like I said, if you can come see us live, everybody's got to experience Top Fuel Motorcycle live.
Oh, I would love to have them at the track, and if they get hot and everything, come over, sit down, and take a load off your feet and sit underneath my awning. Anytime, everybody's welcome, anytime.
Hold them to it. Guys, we appreciate it. You know, we're always on the quest to bring you the best in motorcycle drag racing. If there's anything fast motorcycles we are in, Cycle Drag rolls on. Wait a minute, is it the legendary Jesse James? Are you really the legendary Jesse James?
Sometimes, only in my own mind.
What do you got on your hat?
Cycle Drag.
You're the man. Do you watch the Cycle Drag YouTube channel?
No, but you should.
We hope that you'll start watching, and I appreciate it.
Yep.